Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. This time they stay on the ground. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one, maybe not the hard-fought battle many had hoped for. This has been blowout city thus far, but still more football to be played. Who knows what could happen? As we send you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Credit the sack to the always disruptive Olivier Vernon. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, as an offense, you know, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Officially, it'll be a 68-yard punt return score as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Joseph now to have the PAT. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Second year in Oakland for Walner after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, you know, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. Well, now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. On second down, Jacobs. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. The second down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Throwing his car on 3rd down. Able to find Walter. That's complete. A big play that time for the Raiders. And even 50 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Now looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Number 53, Mike 53. I know he ain't.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. His pass caught at the 4. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to run.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, Carr. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh, yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
This one fielded at the 5. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced to the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
P.J. Hall there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 30. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Mayfield this time gets it off to Chubb. Give him 6 on the play, and it's a second down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball out.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Rashard Higgins there to make the grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
The point after is good, and the lead will swell by one more. Joseph now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
On second down now, Richard. And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a second straight play. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up. Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI called at just about any point during his route, and I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. there to make the grab as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Joseph now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr, that's complete to his tight end, Waller. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 34-yard line.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how he, one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And he's going to go down again. Myles Garrett, his 2nd sack of the night.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. This is caught by Antonio Brown. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Mayfield, he's going to loft one deep, and this is caught. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 47 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. taking a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Let's go, V, let's go.
To throw again. Carr. Space to maneuver at the 40. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. That right there is what Jalen Richard can bring to this offense. And last year, yes, he had 55 carries, but they used him more as a receiver. He had 68 catches in 2018, which was tied for the team lead. Really adds a nice element to the backfield for Derek Carr and company. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the draw, Richard. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 50.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Carr in the middle of the field. He's got Nelson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
53, check 53.
From the gun, it's Carr. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Myles Garrett in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
The kick by Carlson is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
180. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's go, D.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Pushing his way inside the 40. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the night as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Carr under pressure again, and down he goes again. Myles Garrett, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Sheldon Richardson. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. Now the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 27, Mayfield flushed out right. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon.
Let's go, let's go.
Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't for...
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. Trying to get it to Landry there. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself They finally got one. They finally got me.
That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
So when you hit it.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Mayfield on play action. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. The intended receiver was Rashard Higgins. 3rd down here. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Mayfield looks to throw, eluding the pressure right. He finds Beckham complete. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Oakland.